Paul, a week on, or week and a little bit on, your feelings, your thoughts, your mood?
The reality of what we've achieved and where we are, where we're planning to be in August, which is a really nice feeling, and we're setting about all the preparation. So things move very quickly in football, and as much as we were very pleased with ourselves and all patting each other on the backs, we now have to, get ready for what's about to be a very important summer, have a break, try to improve on last year. I'm not talking necessarily just on the pitch, but off the pitch and all the bits and pieces which create the environment for the team to play well. We're on it already, so we do have to remember to have a break. Players are off having a break. They'll be in soon to be tested and whatever. But really nice week to have had. It's a really good place to be at the moment.
I suppose that break is hugely important, especially after the nerves and the drama of getting promotion. But your preparations probably started before the final game, didn't they? To a tiny amount thanking ahead.
Yes, I guess we wouldn't be doing our job correctly if we weren't preparing for every eventuality. And we have spent the last 6 months saying, if we're in League Two, if we're in League One. There was a point early in the year where we were saying, if we're in the conference, because you have to look at everything, and obviously that was fortunately we put that aside pretty early. We established that we were a contender pretty early, so it's been 6 months of talking about if League One, if League Two, and I'm very pleased to say it's League One, and so we've had thoughts about what we're going to do next for both those scenarios. So we're very much now sort of into what we do next, and League Two is so last year, so passé,
yeah, gone.
So last year. So it's League One now.
Obviously, at this point in the season, there will be a break, but then you'll have to start thinking about the players, and the players that you have, and the players that may be leaving, and the players that are coming in. And two have already come out on social media and said that they're leaving: Brandon Thomas-Asante and Uzi. Say, just your reaction to those two leaving?
Disappointed to see them go. So I'm with any player. It's you build a team throughout the course of a year, and by that I mean you build the way it thinks, the camaraderie, all the things which go together to create the kind of feeling which makes a team commit. And those two chaps have been very much part of it. Us, in terms of his performance on the pitch, he's played a number of games and contributed hugely. Brandon less so, but still every player here has contributed something during the year to what's been an incredibly good dressing room and nice feeling. So I've got the onerous task at the moment of looking at what we're doing for next season. Every situation is different. There's hardly a player that has finished this season who is not good enough to go into next year's squad. But when a manager's looking to make a few signings to create a different dynamic or a different balance within the squad, I can't just accumulate 30, 40, 50 players. You have to, it's organic a lot of the time, things happen naturally, but unfortunately I get to this point, I've got to make a few decisions. We had a lot of players anyway, probably more than ordinarily we would have had, because the change of management and players on contract, etc. So, there's players. Every player that has a different situation. Brandon, a young player, we've moved up to League One. I'm looking to sign new players, and he's not played a lot this year. And for his benefit also, as well as ours, it's the right time for him to look to play consistent, continual football at first team level. I don't think he was necessarily going to get that with us. Certainly good enough to step up as part of the squad, but we have to be very realistic about it. I think it's the right time for him to have had a very good 2 or 3 years here and contributed over the last period of time, for him to get some first team football and move on with his career. He's the sort of player that in 2 or 3 years time, hopefully we'll see doing very, very well, and we should be proud of it. But it's the right time for him, in my opinion. In terms of Us, I've got a lot of midfield players. Us is out of contract. I'd loved him to stay in terms of having him here and the type of individual he's been an example to so many of others how to work through difficult times, disappointments of not being selected, how to train, how to conduct oneself, how to think, just the positivity. But the reality is I can't afford to keep everybody, and I also want to make 1 or 2 signings and have to clear some room, and I just can't keep everybody. So really upset to see him go. I mean, gave him a big hug the other day when he left, and really appreciated the season that I've had to work with him.
Is it fair to say that without disrespecting the players you've got here at the moment, because you came in at a period where you had to sort the club out and get it up towards the top end of League Two, is it fair that your job now is to make the team more of a Paul Tisdale team, more of a team that you want, with the players that you want?
Yes, yeah, but you've got to do it when the time's right and when you are stacked with a good chance of it actually working.
Yeah.
We had a brief period this year. We were very fluid, very dynamic into November time, where I felt it was going the right way, and we just couldn't quite maintain that. So I need probably, a certain type of signing here or there, which will give me depth to produce that type of performance more often. But you need all sorts. It's a long season, and you can't play. Playing home and away is different. Playing in September is different to playing in the middle of winter. It's a long season. We have to have the wherewithal to be flexible and adaptable and everything else. But this is my opportunity to just maybe nudge it in a different way, and I'm very much looking forward to doing that. But I think I've got to be very careful we don't change too much. I've made this step before, and it's a long time ago, but I remember some of the mistakes I made then in terms of maybe overthinking it. Essentially, we need a team that garners all the good feeling that we've had, the momentum we've had, and why we have had a good season. The team ethic, the work rate, just the energy that we can put together as one group of players, and we have to take that into the next league. And let's not overthink in terms of how we need to become so much better. Let's just do it bit by bit. I don't think we have to get it right in August either. I think we've got a bit of time to build ourselves into next year. So I am philosophical about it and also looking forward to it. I'm also very well aware of sometimes you can just make too many changes. So I'm trying to get that balance right. There's no right answer to it. A lot of the circumstances are when you make decisions on players, which is this time actually we're blind, because you're blind to it because you still don't know what's available. You don't necessarily. We're only just establishing what should be the budget for next year. Players are looking. We've got players who are out of contract who are looking elsewhere but haven't necessarily turned their contract down here either. It's not as simple and tangible as everyone would make out. It's a very blurred, muddled month, this one, and I'm trying to navigate my way through it the best I can, and you just hopefully I make some good decisions along the way.
And fit in a holiday somewhere in amongst all that, because presumably this has started now. It's ongoing. So
it's ongoing. And if I'm away on holiday, it still carries on.
Oh, it does. You're not kind of switch the phone off. You can't.
You can't afford to miss out on something. And I've got some very good colleagues around me. We share these things out, and I'm blessed to have so many good people working with me, and we do our very best. But ultimately, as a manager, you have to make decisions, and you never know when the phone's going to ring either. It's not just about us chasing players; it's about other clubs maybe making a phone call for one of our players. Who knows? You just don't know what's around the corner, so you need to be on your toes. I think we're in a good position. I'm glad it's not. This is June. We're in May, so we've got an early start at it. So we're in May. We've got a really good run up at it. But we are now into that period where it's a little bit of can become a little bit of a circus, and we've just got to have the clarity as to what we're looking for. And you don't always get what you want, but you've got to be in the hunt. You've got to be in the contest. I think we are, but these things don't. I mean, the window closes at the end of August. That just gives you an idea of how long this will go on for.
What were your highlights of the season?
Gosh, damn good question.
Because it feels like it was a long time ago, doesn't it? So, I mean, like the Bournemouth game, for example, feels like it was a long time.
Well, highlights don't always have to be the things that were just that worked. You know, they can be tough times as well, because it's the tough times which really get you going sometimes. So I would say highlights would be losing at Grimsby and the 45 minutes to an hour we spent in the dressing room afterwards, which was probably not what people would imagine was being said. It was a very philosophical chat with a bit of a laugh and a bit of a joke and come on chaps, we've got to think about this now. It was that type of conversation, and we had a chat about everyone's I don't want to tell you too much about what goes on in the dressing room, but we had a very good chat about it. It ended up with a bit of a chuckle, and we was desperately disappointed with the way we played, and it just seemed like a lot of things beginning to go wrong, but we had a really good chat together. So maybe not the answer you were expecting to hear, but that would be a real turning point for us. Now, we didn't go and just suddenly win game after game after that point, but there was something about that dressing room afterwards that I liked, and we even had a laugh at that point. And then walking out and finding out Lee Scriven's daughter had told him he was going to get married. So that was quite, as we walked out. So, you and how delighted he was, so probably not what you expected me to say. Probably, winning 6-0 against Cambridge. That was great because we'd improved our performance from the week before on certain things, and the players nailed it. That's nice as a manager to see. But in terms of highlight, Grimsby away, 45 minutes in the dressing room afterwards, having a chat, a serious chat, turned a bit of a chuckle, and we said, this is our moment now, we've got to decide what we're going to do. So that would be the highlight.
Were there moments where you thought the automatic promotion had maybe fizzled away?
Yeah, until it's done, you can never, and we weren't ever had the luxury of having a big gap. I mean, from Christmas onwards, we were struggling really to maintain the form. So, yeah, but with that fear, whatever that word is, that drives you on, you just get maybe that extra bit of focus and you work that bit harder. So there's no harm having a little bit of fear in there.
When I asked you a couple of weeks ago what promotion would mean to you, you said you'd rather wait until it was done and dusted. But what now does promotion mean to you?
Probably a 4-letter word, PHEW, phew. Because that's how it feels. Thank goodness for that. And it just, on so many levels, okay, there's this celebration, and you probably should have seen me in this room here at the end of the game. There was a lot going on over there, and I was sat in that corner, my head in my hands. Just the complete and utter. I can't even think of the word. It's just, thank goodness for that, and that feeling of relief. And then, right, okay, just the excitement and the challenge of the new league, and the horizons open up, and we can all get about work, and it just brightens the place up. Being on the move and the wheels turning forward brightens the place up. So the decisions become more clear, and it means that ultimately my time here at MK Dons, the wheels are going forward, and that is a complete and utter delight.
How would you describe the dressing room? Certainly from the outside, from our perspective, it feels like it's one of the more complete dressing rooms in that everybody seems to get on with everybody. There doesn't appear to be many cliques and groups moving about.
Yeah, I don't think that's by chance. I think you, me, whoever, you do think about that, and you try to provide a structure where that can happen. But ultimately, it comes down to the players. The players have it's for them to decide how their dressing room should be. They do that. They work really hard together. They listen. They're very receptive and respectful, and it takes two to tango. I have to give them that respect, but they certainly give it to me. And as a result, they're left to organise their own dressing room. I rarely spend any time in it other than match days. Good on them. I'm really pleased that they've got a feel good about themselves, that they are, that they enjoy spending time with each other. It's a good start.